Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Today, our tutorial is for a slouchy hat, and you can make it for adults or children. It's versatile. It's for everybody. So these are great gifts, or for yourself to treat yourself. I'm using the monthly yarn for November, actually. So if you are watching this in the future and this doesn't exist anymore, it actually does. You can check out my shop. You'll still be able to special order it, and it is based on this beautiful figure from the 19th century, and she was an Afro-Arab woman, so that goes pretty well. It's got this pretty rust color in there and the sharp blue with teal and some silver. So that is what we're working with, but you can work with whatever you want. I'm using, this is DK weight as well, so it's not going to be too heavy or chunky, but I'll explain what hook sizes to use if you're using something else. So you can use acrylic or wool, cotton. This is actually merino wool, so it's nice and soft, and it's going to feel nice on the head. So that's what I'd used here for a black sparkly one, and it's nice and stretchy as well. And you'll need at least, well, this is 210 meters, but you'll need less than that. So you'll need about, on the safe side, 180 meters of yarn. And with that, you'll also need some scissors and a little tapestry needle just to sew in the ends. And if you want, what's optional is a little pom-pom for the top. You can either make one, but I have this one, so it's gonna go really well. And these usually come with a little elastic or plastic thing here, and you just sew it in at the top. You stitch it in, so we can do that. So this is optional if you want a pom-pom, but you don't have to have it with a pom-pom if it's a slouchy hat. And in terms of hook sizes, you are going to need a size 8 for this weight. So that's DK. A size 6.5 millimeter and a 6. Now, if you are making this with chunky weight or a thicker yarn, use a 9 or 10 millimeter hook, and then you can still drop down, I think, to a 6.5. That will still work. And then a 6. And if you want to make a children's size, you can still keep use an 8, a 6.5, and use a 5 millimeter hook. So gather all your stuff. And you're also going to need a stitch marker. So if you have either a stitch marker like this, but I actually have a really cool one that a friend made, and they have an Etsy shop. And I'm going to put the link down below for their Etsy shop, because you can buy these little stitch markers. They're so cute. This is a little amigurumi mushroom, and they also sell patterns, crochet patterns for birds and coasters, things like that. And they also make key rings, and they either make them, I think they might have patterns as well, so for these, but you should definitely check out Astrio. I think I pronounced their shop name right. Their Etsy shop, but yeah, the link's going to be below, so make sure to support them and support creative crafters in our community. So with that said, we are going to begin, and it's such a simple hat that, and you're going to learn, if you don't know the moss technique or the moss stitch, we're going to be doing that today as well. So it's like a 2-for-1, but I can make a separate video with the moss stitch as well. But anyways, it's going to be in this as well. So to start, we're just going to do a magic ring or magic circle, and you're going to take your largest hook, so that's the 8. Now if you're using chunky yarn, you're using a 9. Okay, so if you don't know how to do the magic ring and it's too difficult, then just chain 4, just like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then do a slip stitch into the very first stitch, and then that will give you a ring, just like that. So if you need to do that, then that's fine, that's cool. If you can manage a magic ring, you just put your yarn around, pull up a loop like that. So either way, we should have a ring now. And then you're going to chain 2. 1, 2, and then this is going to count as a double crochet. So you're going to do 9 more double crochets into that circle. So just do 9 of those. Okay, so after you have 9 of those, and then you will count the first chain 2 as a double crochet, then you just pull your loop, pull the string tight, and you've made a little circle. So go into the top of the first stitch, and that, and just do a slip stitch. So that will give you 10 stitches. So if it's easier at this point, you're going to use your little stitch marker, and just so that you know where to start and end. And so for round 2, we're actually not going to be chaining up or anything. We're just working in rounds and rounds and rounds, and that's going to give it the hat a very uniform look, so it doesn't have any stitching or connecting stitching of course, but not connecting stitching, so it just looks like it's a perfect circle. So into you kind of pull these 2 here, and you'll see your first stitch here. You're going to do 2 half double crochets, so that's yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through all 3 of those on the loop or on the hook, and then you're going to do that again in that same stitch, so another half double crochet. And you're going to do that in all of the stitches around, so you're going to have 20 half double crochets. and you'll meet back at your little stitch marker. So I'll meet you back after you've done 2 half double crochets in each stitch, and then we will go on to round 3. Okay, so after you have 20, you are going to, if you need to, you put your stitch marker back just to know where to end, and always count, make sure that you have the right amount of stitches. For round 3, it's just the same thing. You're going to go into the first stitch and do a half double crochet and just 1 stitch all the way around. So you'll come back and you'll have 20 again. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I will leave you to that and just work all the way around until you have 20. Okay, we made it back. We are on to round 4 already. We're just flying through this. So I'm just going to stick my stitch marker in here, just like that. Okay, for round 4, we are going to do 2 half double crochets into each stitch. So we're going to end up with 40. So go into the next stitch here, and you're going to do 2 half double crochets in each stitch around. So just keep going until you have 40, and I will meet you back after you're done round 4. Okay, so this is sort of what your project will look like. We are on to round 5, and that one is very simple. We are just going around each of these 40 stitches with a half double crochet. So just go around into each stitch with 1 half double crochet. So you'll end up with 40 half double crochets at the end again. So I will let you go around and I'll meet you back when you are done round 5. Okay, so we are on to round number 6, and so I have my stitch marker in already, so I know where to end, and we are going to do 1 half double crochet into the first stitch, and then 2 into the second stitch. Just like that. And then into the next stitch, we do 1 half double crochet. And then to the next stitch, we do 2 half double crochets. And into the next one, we do 1 half double crochet. And into the next one, we do 2 half double crochets. So that is the pattern all the way around. So it's 1 half double crochet, and then into the next stitch it's 2 half double crochets. So just keep doing that all the way around, and you will have 60 half double crochets at the end of this round. So I will let you concentrate and do that, and I'll meet you back when you're done this round. Okay, so we should have 60 half double crochets at this point, and you can see how cool this is working up. So you can, for rows 7 and 8, you're going to just do you're going to do a half double crochet all the way around. So you will have, for row for round 7, it will be 1 half double crochet in each stitch. And then for round 8, it's the same thing. So just keep going for rounds 7 and 8 with a half double crochet, and I will meet you back. Make sure to use your stitch markers for each round, and I will meet you back to do rounds 9 to 20. Okay, so this is going to be our hat, believe it or not. So we have just finished round 8, and we are going on to round 9. So we're going to abandon our large number 8 hook, and we are switching to a 6.5. So you will want to put your stitch marker in here and keep using that for the next 10 rounds. Is it 10 rounds? So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yep. So actually, it's 11 rounds. So rounds 9 to 19 are going to be just 1 half double crochet in each stitch around, and you're doing that with the smaller hook, so it's going to kind of start to create a bowl shape here. So I'm going to leave you to that because it's that simple. So from rows 9 to 19, it's just a half double crochet in each stitch all the way around. So keep doing that, keep your stitch marker in place, and I will meet you back after you've done row 19. Hey, we're back. So this is what your hat will look like after you've done 19 rows. And if you want something that's not as slouchy, then just do less rows. So I'm sorry I'm telling you this now. If you want to undo some, undo 2 or 3 rows, but for an extra slouchy hat, I think 19 rows is pretty good. And just for those who like to measure things from the sort of tip to the edge, there's about almost 8.5. Well, yeah, almost 8.5. Yeah, I'd say about 8.5 inches. But yes, again, this is entirely up to you to decide how slouchy you want this hat. And as you can see, look at that cool pattern that has emerged from the yarn that we were using. Ooh, look at that. It's cool, huh? Okay, so we are on to row 20, and I still have my stitch marker in here. This is Ash's stitch marker. So for row 20, it's super simple. You're just going to do a row of, just let me unhook this here. The row is going to be a row of single crochet all the way around, and then I will meet you back for row 21. So just keep going. Start here in your stitch and just go around with single crochet all the way around, and yeah, I will meet you back for row 21. Hey everybody, we're back. We've done row 20, and so for the next 5 rows, this is it. This is the final countdown. If you want to, if the moss stitch is too difficult, or if that's just not something that you want to do, you can just do the next 5 rows as single crochet. For others, if you want, you can do a single crochet with, just do it into the back post for 5 rounds, and that will give a different kind of look to it. But we are going to do a moss stitch here. So what you do is, where you've left off, you chain 2, and then you're going to, so you can leave your stitch marker here, you're going to skip the next stitch and then do a single crochet into the next stitch, and then chain 1, and then skip 1 stitch, go into the next stitch with a single crochet, and then chain 1, skip a stitch, single crochet into the next. So it's chain 1, skip a stitch, single crochet, and you do that all the way around until you get to back to the start. So if you do that for row 21, I will meet you back when you've reached the end here. So once you reach the end of the round, that's round, what round are we on? 21. So you'll have the chain 2 that you had created here. So what you're going to do is you can put your stitch marker again into the last stitch that you did. So you're going to chain 1, and this is the start of round 22, and then you're going to put your you're going to single crochet into that space, and then chain 1, skip this stitch, and then you're going to single crochet into all of the chain spaces. So you're basically just doing the opposite of what you did, or continuing what you did in the previous row. So you chain 1, and then you single crochet into that chain space that you made below. Chain 1, skip that stitch, and then single crochet into that chain space. Chain 1, skip this stitch, single crochet into the next chain space. Chain 1, skip that stitch, and single crochet into the next chain space. So just keep going all the way around, so that you have a chain 1 and a stitch into the chain spaces here, and you'll start to see, I know it's quite difficult to see with this patterned yarn, variegated yarn, but if you're using a solid color, it'll show up much better. But that is basically the moss stitch. So just go around and do row 22, and then I'll meet you back to do round 23, 24, and 25. Okay, so for row 23, you're going to chain 1, and then go into that next chain space and do a single crochet, chain 1, jump into that, skip over that 1 stitch there, and then do a single crochet into the chain space, chain 1. So that's all you're doing for each round again, until you have 25 rounds. And once you're done that, let's meet back at the end. Okay, so this is our hat, just about done. Okay, so we can see here that our hat has a little bit of shape here. It's a little bit smaller and tighter, so that's going to hold on your head. It's nice, and there's lots of room here for some slouch. If you find that the band at the bottom is not big enough. If you want it larger, then just keep going for a few more rows, you know. Or I did this one in a back post single crochet just to give you two different looks here. But yeah, this one is if you'll be able to see it more if the stitching, the stitch work, if it's a solid color or if you do two different colors. But either way, I think it looks really cool. So from here, we just take our scissors and cut your yarn, and then you're just going to pull the yarn through, just like that. You can see that, and then you can take your needle here. Oh, can you see that? This needle, and then just weave in the end. So I can, whoops, I can show you how to do that very quickly. So you just take your yarn here and go into the back and just sort of weave it through like that, and then come back in a different area and just don't go through the front, and just keep doing that a little bit throughout so that it is nice and firm. And then once you've done that, you can cut your yarn there, and that is the hat done. Now the only thing, the little extra thing, if you wanted to add a little extra oomph to it, just to make it look a little bit different or cuter or fancier, you can add a little pom-pom at the end. And this is a faux fur one. You can get these at any craft store or on Amazon, or that new place, Temu or whatever. I mean, I'm not affiliated with any of these places. Whatever your budget can reach and whatever is your ethical choice, then just go for it. So just take a piece of yarn that's about 35 to 40 inches, and then just take your needle here and pull it through, and then you just take your little pom-pom. See, there's a little elastic thing in there. You just pull that through, so you can pull one side through like that. And then you're just going to take the top of your hat and find the center. So that little center circle that you did, and go right to the side of it. You don't want to go right in the middle. You can go right to the side of it and pull your yarn through just like that. And then the pom-pom will be there. Then you can turn your work inside out, just like that. Make sure it's nice and firm. And then you just go through that, through the yarn or the stitches in the center, like that, and then pull it through that loop that is on the pom-pom, so that it's gonna stay fastened nice and firm. So then you do that again. You go through the stitches like that. And once you do that, then you just keep going, fasten it in nice and firm, and then take your yarn and you can tie it in a knot here, and then snip it. And then you can always weave these ends in as well. My camera for some reason stopped, so if this looks choppy, that's why. So I'm just showing you what to do at the very end, and then that gives you your final slouchy hat. So everything is done and perfect. So yeah, you can make this however you want. I've given you a few options and alternatives. If it's too difficult, then there's an easier way to do it. And if you are a pro, you can always adjust this and make this as difficult as you want as well. But that's it. That's as easy as it is. Yeah, so make beautiful things, make beautiful hats this winter or summer if you're watching this in the summer. And yeah, this yarn again is available in my shop, and you can special order it if you want. And you only need one skein to do projects like this, so you can always use the extra and make a cute little thin scarf to match this as well. And yeah, all you need is one skein, so that's really economical. That's it for today. Have fun with all of this, make beautiful things, and take care of yourselves. We'll see you again next time. Bye bye.